up, YouTube? It's your girl DeeDee. Welcome back to the channel. So I am back with another reaction video for you guys. In this particular clip that comes from tonight's Conversation podcast, this woman is asked if she ever thought about going 50-50, and I want you to hear her response, and then we gonna chime in. So before we get into the video though, make sure you are subscribed to the channel, share and like the video, and hit that notification bell to be notified when I upload new content. Let's get into what she had to say. Here we go.
Would a 50-50 man for you disqualify?
Absolutely.
Disqualify? What if he, okay.
Like, I haven't met him. I wouldn't even have met that man. A man that wants to be like half and half had never met me. Wait. I didn't meet him. He wasn't even in my room. I never met a man like that. Literally, I never met the man. Seriously, like, there's no way you looked at me and was like, yeah, we going to, like, I never met him.
Okay.
I'm not running across him.
Now, I will say this. I don't, and this is no shade, but when I see women who say that, if you look at me, why would you even think that I would go 50-50? What is he looking at? If we use that metric, then it would throw everybody off. What is she? Because if a woman is saying to me, do I look like that other woman said, do I look like a woman that would go 50-50? I'm looking at you and I would be like, yes, you do. No shade or anything, but when I'm looking, I'm not seeing that. And I'm not even trying to be mean. I'm just saying, I would assume that a woman who would believe that a man would just cater to her solely based off of her looks, then she would have to be drop dead gorgeous. And unfortunately, a lot of women who say that, most men don't look at them as drop dead gorgeous. Y'all let me know what y'all think. If you have to make that statement to say that, then that means that's not how men see you. And there are lots of men who take care of their families and pay all the bills, and they have, women who are housewives and stay at home. But those women didn't have to ask for that. I think it just was, she was that type of woman. She was a housewife. She stayed at home with the kids. She didn't have a problem with it. And so he took care of his part. But we got boss chicks out here who are claiming, I look too good to be 50-50. And these men are passing. These men are moving and finding other women. So I don't get it, but let's continue.
No disrespect to this man. But I ain't never walk on by.
SD, what's up?
The facts of the matter are that the vast majority of people here, especially black people, would be smart to go 50-50 with each other.
Exactly.
Because half the men and over half the women make $50,000 or less. You know what I'm saying? And for black people, us, when you look at where we sit as far as household income, we are dead last because most of us are by ourselves, right? And with over half of the men and half of the women making just $50,000, it makes our household income the lowest. Whereas other people also don't have all of this money, but what they are doing is they are getting together and saying, okay, you can only do half. I can only do half. Let's put that 50 together. Now it's $100,000 home. Now I don't have to pay $2,000 rent on my own. Now I can pay just $1,000 and we can save more money together.
Facts. I'm glad somebody told the truth. I'm glad somebody had some logical thinking and some sense, because that's just common sense. And this is not a new phenomenon. The only thing that's new out of all of this is social media and the fact that women feel like they're the prize and that they can make money, but they don't want to spend it on. They don't want to spend it when it comes to relationships and family. We have the single mother epidemic, and women who are working and taking care of themselves and their kids, and they're doing it by themselves, but they're entitled. They think a man is supposed to come in and help them, even though they chose to be independently by themselves. As long as men made the money and were the leaders of the household, then yeah, men were expected to pay the bills and provide and protect and do all of that, while the women, in some cases, because not all cases, because most husbands and wives had to work, but in some cases where the women were able to be housewives, then the responsibility was for the woman to take care of the household, cook, clean, take care of the kids, while the man go out and make the money to take care of the entire family. That's the whole purpose of that. The purpose of it now is something totally different, because now we don't have traditional women for the most part. Mostly everybody want to be modern and independent and boss chicks. So if we're in an age of modern independent boss chicks, You don't need to be taken care of. You can do it all by yourself. But when it comes to you doing it by yourself, you brag about you're independent, you can do it by yourself. You don't need no man. But you want one. So you're looking for one. But when you're looking for one, you're telling him you need him to come in and pay everything. And he has to make double what you make. And then he got to take on your kids. Where they do that at? And why are you expecting them to do that? It's not the same. So you can't expect the same because women are not the same. So if men and women can work, then men and women must contribute. You can't sit back and play these traditional roles when you're not a traditional woman. Most of these women don't want to be housewives in a traditional sense. They want to be able to not have to be responsible for bills, but they don't want to cook and clean. They want to cater everything out. You want to pay somebody to do it. And you don't want to come out of your pocket, even though you are a boss chick and you make money. You still want to work. You still want to go on girls trips, but you want this man to be a millionaire to provide you with this lifestyle. And if he can't, then he ain't a man. And wonder why men are not approaching, and wondering why men are not catering to y'all, or doing these, because it's too much. The expectations of modern women is just unrealistic. It doesn't make any sense, but I think they're realizing it. And why? Because the majority of our women especially are single. We have a single mother epidemic in the Black community, and the majority of our women are single. And the women who have been married, they think that they don't need their husbands, that they can forfeit their husbands and go get a rich man who's going to cater to them and give them this imaginary lifestyle that they've seen on Love and Hip Hop. It's not looking good. It's really not. And so I think the guy who spoke, he made plenty of sense. Hey, it's wise to bring your resources together. And if women are making more money and got more resources and the man has resources, y'all bring it together, y'all can do so much more together. But women hate to bring their resources to the table unless it's just them by themselves. They don't feel that if you got a man that you should have to do anything. They think that if I got a man, I shouldn't have to pay anything. Who told y'all that? I don't understand. If you got a family that you're trying to raise and take care of, y'all, it makes sense for you to bring your resources together and do what y'all need to do. But that's not how a lot of modern women think, unfortunately. And this is why a lot of them will stay single. And this is why, unfortunately, men will be single too, because they're not in our communities. They may be able to go to other communities and find wives, but they're definitely not going to be able to find it in the Black community, because a lot of these women are superficial, they're entitled, and they're boss chicks, and they just believe what they believe. And even though it's not giving them the results that they want, they're worried about 50-50, but they're going to end up having to pay 100 of everything themselves. And this is exactly what we're seeing, and this is exactly what they're complaining about. So you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. If you don't understand the dynamics of a relationship and how that's supposed to work, and you don't want to cooperate and work with your spouse and build a family with him, then you're going to have to do it all by yourself. And if I had to, I would prefer going in half than having to do it all by myself, because they're doing it and they're complaining. But, they'd rather do bad by themselves. So go ahead and do bad. But you don't have to do bad with someone. You can do better with another person, with you guys working together. But listen, y'all, let me know what y'all think in the comments. Comment, like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit that bell to be notified when I upload new content. Chime in the comments. I want to hear your thoughts on this one, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye.